you here would like to do that. So in that vein, as we continue to talk, I'd like you to think about what can you do? What act can you do to start to shift our history? To start to make some difference. Nathan? Thank you, Todd.
There are two Nathans as well. A lot of duplicates today.
I was talking about you, Nathan.
The other, Nathan Putnam?
No, yes, Nathan Putnam. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nathan.
No. So Nathan and I used to sit
twins today, just to throw me off.
We used to sit right next to each other, so it got a little
confusing. Oh, did you?
Well, hey everyone, I'm Nathan. I'm the Concept Creation Center workshop lead. And yeah, I think why I've been watching these films is kind of similar to Christy's comment of what it, just get more education on what the Black Lives Matter means and the story behind it. For context, I grew up in New Mexico. I'm a Hispanic STEM person. And growing up in New Mexico, I realized that, and leaving New Mexico, I realized that I had I would consider a privileged upbringing on the context of my own culture. It's a very unique place in the country in which I now know, my education system was a little bit different than the rest of the country. Our Hispanic culture of New Mexico, actually the majority of New Mexico is Hispanic. The majority of the leaders, the governors, the business owners are Hispanic. The majority of people you're walking around are brown. So it's a little bit than the rest of the country, and I didn't realize this difference until I left. In school, in elementary school, I think it's changed now, unfortunately, but in elementary school, we said the Pledge of Allegiance in Spanish and English throughout the whole state. And when it came to the history of the United States, we were taught a lot of stories that I was shocked that the rest of the country wasn't taught. My wife is from upstate New York, and it was shocking how many times throughout our marriage, I realized she doesn't understand the story of the Southwest and the story of what I would call the struggles of kind of that region. I thought that was common knowledge. So when the Black Lives Matter came out, I thought that, actually in New Mexico, we got a lot of Hispanic lessons, but we did not get any African American and Black American stories. We had some lessons in February, and we probably got the same lessons that the rest of the country got on these background stories. So every time it hit me like a brick in my head when I realized my wife didn't learn these stories, or my friends didn't learn the stories of Hispanics in New Mexico and the Southwest region, it hit me hard to realize that I didn't know these stories of the African Americans and Black stories of this country. And I think quickly it helped me to understand Black Lives Matter and kind of the difference, and it is different. It's a different story. It's a different dialogue. So yeah, and I'm having to get self-educated through all this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think another part you asked for, part that stood out the most, I had to Google this because I was trying to write it down during it, was a quote that I believe James Baldwin quoted from a book, but said this: I don't believe in the wagons that bring bread to humanity, for the wagons that bring bread to humanity may coldly exclude a considerable part of humanity from enjoying what is brought. And to me, being a STEM major and a minority, I love looking at the proportions and proportional representation across the board, whether that's in companies, but then smaller subsets of degrees and smaller subsets of leadership, and then the struggles that are even more behind these percentages. And why I bring that up is that this quote really hit is that bread that's being brought to people is definitely disproportional, and it's tough when we're trying to figure out how to